Welcome to Learning with Miss Roseberry, and today I am going to show you some yoga poses that I do with my kindergarten kids. And I have my dog helping me because that's like having kids in class. Now usually when people do yoga or exercise, they have on their yoga clothes and their yoga pants. But when I'm at school, I don't. So if you wait, I'll be right back, and we're going to do this in our regular clothes. Hold on. I'm back. So when I'm at school, I'm usually wearing an outfit sort of like this. If it's warm, I wear capris, sandals, a t-shirt, and I teach kindergarten, so all my clothes are washable and flexible. And I do yoga on the rug with the kids, so that's how we're going to do it. Usually I do it in the morning, right after we have our circle time or morning meeting, but you could do it at the end of the day. And also, if you teach the kids these poses, if they need like a calm down minute, just like sitting up straight and holding your knees. I tell them squeeze your knees if you're mad or excited, and take your deep breaths and let them out. If I call these poses by the names that I use with the kids, that's just because it makes it easy to remember. So, but they can learn the names, and if you want to look them up, like I said, I'm not a yogi instructor. All right, here we go. We start just by sitting like this, and we take 3 deep breaths. This helps the teacher and the kids, and it helps them just get ready, because yoga is about breathing and relaxing. And then you can just do some rolls, like shoulder rolls, backwards and forwards. Or sometimes they really like to be silly and just roll their body around. And that's a nice way to stretch out. You can do some arm stretches. And this is also a good time if you want to talk about shapes, like putting your elbow up makes a triangle, all sorts of teaching stuff like arm stretches. Now this next one is a crowd favorite, and yes, I am going to make the noises. This is called cat-cow. So you're on your all fours, and we're usually in a circle on the rug. And when you arch your back and put your head down, you're the cat, so they say meow. And then when you arch your back the other way and you put your head up, you're the cow, so they say moo. My kids will do this until I tell them to stop because I've got a headache. So you're cat, and then you're cow. And cat arching up, and cow head up. And that is a nice one to lead us into downward dog. You're going to slide your hands up and push up on your feet. And you're making a triangle with your body. And they like this one too. And yes, they will bark. And from downward dog, you can go to plank and then have them lower their body to the floor. And then the next one, you put your hands to the side and you go up, and it's called cobra. So you make a snake sound. And you can repeat these poses as many times as you want to until you get tired of them making noises. The next one from Cobra, if you push up and go down on your arms, this one is the puppy. Again, they're going to bark, but it kind of should remind you of how a dog is when he wants to play. And then to stretch your back out. This is a nice one, also a good one to teach them for calm down, is child's pose. And you can put your arms out in front of you if you want to stretch, or your arms back. Or sometimes if you really want to stretch out your arms, you can put your arms behind you. But the kids really like this, and you can tell yourself a secret if you have some angry words. You can just whisper them to your knees. This is another good calm down one. Child's pose. Up from child's pose, if you need to stretch a little bit, you can lean back. My kids make fun of me because I can't touch my heels, but you can make a D shape So I can touch one at a time, or I'll turn this way so you can see it. You can do this one where you lean back, and it's called cactus arms. And for some reason, the things that have the fun names, they like that. The next one is the boat. Now this one is good for your abdominals, but it's good for kids for balance. So you just put your legs out like that and your arms and breathe a couple times. You could sing row, row, row your boat if you really want to. Lots of things you could work in, you know, flex your feet. You could do some twisting with this one. All the poses are flexible. The next one my kids really like is this one. You spread your feet apart, and it looks like a frog, and it is called the frog. So yes, they will ribbit, and they may jump. Up to you on how much they need movement-wise. But this one is really good for hip openers, and kids, especially in kindergarten, sit crisscross applesauce a lot of times. So you could just do 1 or 2 of these stretches as a brain break when you're teaching if the kids are sitting on the rug for a little bit. And then next we're gonna push up into ragdoll. And this one they can just shake it out and shake it all around. And then they can extend. I believe this one is called tabletop, where you put your back out straight and then shake down again. When they're down there in ragdoll too, you can have them see if they can put their hands flat on the floor or arch their back. Really a lot of flexible. Now I'm going to show you some of the standing poses we do. I had to adjust the camera so you could see them all. All right, so when you're coming up from the ragdoll, this is a good way to lead into the next part of your lesson if you want to, but you're in the ragdoll, and I'll stand back so you can see me, and you roll your body up and tell them they're holding a big beach ball and they want to put it over their head and really stretch on their toes. And this is a good time too if you need to do any twisting or turning. They might be a little wiggly. And then arms out by the side. I've got my cheat sheet down here, I'm peeking. Oh, next one. They love this one for whatever reason. Warrior. So you spread your legs and your back foot is facing sideways and your front foot is facing the front of the room, and you just put your arms out and you bend that front knee, and it's kind of like a lunge, and it's the warrior. So this one I tell them like to just put their fierce face on, like they can just do anything, and they kind of like that. Plus kids like soldiers and fighting and Power Rangers, so they like that. So then you turn your other foot, and sometimes we do this facing in if we're all in a circle so that we can fit on the rug, so we'll do it facing in. But you turn your other foot out, back foot sideways, arms out, and just sink into that lunge. And just keep your knee, this is more for the teachers than the kids, but keep your knee, you don't want it to go over your toes. You just hold that for a few breaths. The next one is also a favorite, and the kids may do it wrong. Just make sure they're not putting their foot, this one's called the tree, that you're putting your foot either below your knee or above your knee. Now, when I have on shorts, on my left side, I can do it above my knee, like this. So their arms can be out, their arms can be like this. This is a good time, their arms can be up. You could talk about seasons, what trees look like, what do the leaves happen during the different seasons. This is a nice balance. On the other side, I can't put my foot, I have to put my foot below my knee, right side, weak. If they have trouble balance, my friend Shari told me that you hold the other ear, and so that will help you. And they just think that's funny too, but that's a good little tip. So arms out, take some breaths. The next one I think is called the eagle pose, but we usually call it the twisty pretzel. And that you act like you're gonna sit down, and you cross your leg over and tuck your toe, and then you twist your arms all up. This is also a good balance one, and it makes them laugh. Of course, some kids can do it, some kids can't, but you know, just try. And then in the middle of that one, you gotta shake it out. And then you sit, because you always have to do the poses on both sides for balance. Oh, see, that one's harder for me. And then you're all twisted up. Let me do this one sideways so you can see. You sort of sit and cross and tuck your back toe. It's harder in shoes. I do yoga at school with shoes on because if you've ever tried to get kindergartners to put on and take off their shoes, it's more work for the teacher. Now this last one is so easy. It's called the mountain. And you just stand. Your feet are a little apart. You put your shoulders back. And this is just a good way to start your day. But once you teach your kids all these moves, you could say, everybody stand up, mountain pose. And they just go into like this and breathe. And just say 3 breaths or 5 breaths or, you know, count down from 10. And then you could go about your day, but it's a nice little way to break it up. I've done yoga with kids of all ages. I mostly have taught kindergarten, but all elementary school kids like this. And these are real poses, even if I call them the wrong names. Thank you for doing yoga and learning with Miss Roseberry. See you next time.